All right, everybody, and welcome back to Unpaid and Underrated, the podcast about crew for crew and mocking Keith a lot lately. We are on episode 4440 of the Unpaid and Underrated podcast. And we are joined, of course, by Big Keith
Howdy, howdy.
and Big Nick.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? I'm doing well.
Good to
I'm
hear. Good
I'm
to hear.
living the dream over here. All right, what are you guys drinking? I'm gonna start. I've got electrolytes and how do you say that, Keith? Creatine? Am I taking
Elect,
my weekly creatine?
electrolytes? I don't know. What'd you say? We'll get to that later, you fucker. That was good. So I actually got a new one this week. I thought I probably had it before, but it's new in the last couple months. I got the bubbly orange cream. Very good. It's every now and it was nice to actually get something different for a change.
That's right up your alley. What about you, Nick? What do you got?
I'm going to start off with a Shiner Bock with my new Texas connection for the last month here. So I'm going to start with the Shiner Bock.
That's the spirit. I do have some Michelob Ultras over here.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I will.
I didn't grab
Uh,
a koozie. I'm fucked.
Speaking of koozie, I will add that I did switch. I think Tanner posted something, or I saw an ad or something that had the the silly goose koozie in it, which I've been using for like probably the last year straight because it is a much more comfortable koozie. I like holding it, but I was kind of I just want to switch it back up, so I went with the Massonomics camo one. But I gotta say, like, I think I'll take the really hard to get out of the can koozie because this isn't comfortable to hold. Like the camo one, the literally thin, the super thin one that you can stick in your back pocket. I don't know. It just feels weird because it's got that seam that's like right on my finger. I'm not loving it, so I might have to switch back over to this strong and silly and just have to get stronger to get it out.
Complete sensory overload for Keith's koozies.
I can't do it. The change is it's nope. I literally just switched up. Yep, got to go back to the '80s koozie, and that feels right. So we're good.
All right, I've got my Massonomics lifting department tee. Of course, the favorite boxy cut pump cover tee. Not that I have anything to cover at the moment. Keith has very obviously showing off his home gym con shirt.
Yeah, that's where I met Big Nick at. So I figured it was fitting and saw it right in the closet, and I was like, oh, let's go with that.
I like that. I like the way that the barbell and the plates create the two O's. That's actually pretty clever. Nick, what do you got?
I got my deadlifter hat on today. Don't buy the hats though. I got my natural for life tee and got lift shorts and I got the slides on too.
I don't even remember that hat. How old is that hat? I
I'll
don't think
stand
I've
by.
seen.
It's pretty old.
Yeah, I don't think that's been around. Well, we'll get in a little bit later about how long you've been around with Massonomics, but I think that might predate me, or well, maybe not. Joey's got one, and we're about the same era. He's got a mint looking one too. What
It's
did I just miss the deadlifter hat? I just been
it's
paying
just too
attention.
small, so I don't
Yeah,
wear very often because it leaves headlines.
gotcha. I'm just not a hat. I don't wear hats in general, so maybe that's just flew under
But
my radar.
yeah, you don't like farts on your head.
I suppose not. Suppose not. Um, you been getting any Popeyes texts there, Joey?
So you and Tanner both sent that to me,
Yeah.
and I panicked because I thought I put my phone number in my stories, and I was like, "Oh no!" But then I was like, "Wait a minute, both these guys have my number," and
Yeah.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Did he
I
text you from his regular line too, or was it an unknown caller?
No, it was from Tanner, and I just
Okay.
said, first question, how dare you? Second question, who do you think you are? And
Yeah, he texted me to text you too, and then I was going to, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do it from my work phone,
yeah,
which Joey doesn't have, so he's gonna really be like, what the fuck? Uh,
yeah, but then I immediately Googled the area code.
yeah, it's
And
like
I was
518.
like, this
Yep,
is either
yep.
Nick or Keith. Like, there's no.
Yeah, it's like who's in Western New York? Yep, that's me. Yeah, that was funny.
It was good. It
But
was actually pretty funny. And honestly, like, it's because they every time you buy something, they re-sign you up, right? So I
I
said
don't
stop, and then
I
I
saw
went and
that.
bought some supplements, and then I get another text, and I was like, what the hell? Like, I can clearly on the same page see where I told you to not send me any more texts. That's why I was like, why do I have to opt out of texts that I never opted into only to get another text telling me I've opted out again? Like, stop doing that. That's terrible marketing. Everybody hates it. Everybody hates that style of marketing.
Yeah, I don't want anybody texting me. That's just annoying. And then it's like the emails that I do want are just they automatically go to my spam, and like I miss shit all the time, and I have to like I forget to go to my spam folder more often. And then I'm like, oh, I missed something that I actually wanted to see. Damn it. Well, speaking of speaking of missing stuff, if you think you missed something on the podcast and you want to double check something, Big Nate and all his technical guide things, I'm not sure, not sure how much he contributed to it or if he just signed both podcasts up. But there's a website now that Unpaid and Underrated and Massonomics have their backlog associated with. Go to the Discord, or Nate can, if Nate's listening to this, he'll post the link in the show notes tonight. And you can basically search our transcripts from all 4,440 episodes, and watch us be wrong, and mock each other and all that stuff. And I don't know that it picks up everything, because like it was funny because I searched fuck and it got like 69 out of 73 episodes had fuck. I'm like, that definitely tracks. But then I searched cunt and it only had like 7, and I was like, there's got to be more than that 7 episodes or whatever. So I was like, I'm not sure how accurate it is, but it still made me chuckle. So
We probably use that word a bit more than we should.
yeah,
but I blame Power Dwyer for that one.
I feel bad that guy completely like lost. How much money he lost by losing like a couple 100,000 follower Instagram, and now he has like a 10,000, or I don't even know. He might even be up to 20 or 30,000, but like it can't be the same. Like
no,
just
but
any kind of ad revenue he was making is now like
his entire thing is bullying bullies.
Yeah,
and Instagram just fucking hates that, right? Like they don't want. I'm surprised I haven't been called out, because every once in a while I'll do that, or I'll just go to some idiot's page and I'll just like troll him. Like he'll say something on some person's like, oh, that's a shitty lift, blah blah blah. So I'll go to one of his posts and go, hey, like I'll just copy and paste what he says and put it on one of his posts. And I'm surprised I haven't got reported and blocked yet. But oh no, I'd leave Instagram. Oh no, less social media for Joey.
Yeah, every now and then it's nice to just not be on it very often. And it's like I always feel like a complete piece of shit when because I have like the 1 hour or the 2 hour thing set up on my phone, and then it always like wants to shut down, and I'm like, add 15 minutes. I need this fucking addiction to like scroll this feed for 5 more minutes today. And then on the weekends I'm just a big piece of shit. Just turn it off. I'll just be on fucking Instagram all day today, apparently. So I need to be better about holding myself accountable and actually shutting it off when it tells me that I've like reached my limit. So you'll have that.
Nick, did you get a chance to listen to this week's episode?
Yes, I did.
All right. What's your rating?
Well, I think overall there's a lot of good things. I found out about the same way as Tanner through Letterkenny, about halfway through, and kind of just I don't know. It's I don't know, but as far as Tommy, I was pretty learned that didn't know he had quite as much farm work experience, and definitely the cold beer at the end of a long day is the best tasting beer. So with that, I think I got to give it a 5 out of 5 York two-faced plates.
Ooh, yeah, the hundos, double-sided hundos, like that. It's a good one. Yeah, it was the Q&A episode. They do these once every couple years or so, maybe even once a year. I always like it because you get to hear them answer questions that our friends posted, and if you're lucky, you get yours read on air too. I think I had a couple. I think I had the one about asking Tommy if he thought he should have started his home gym earlier, and he kind of was like, "No, I kind of started at the perfect time." I was like, "I don't know, man. Like, it would have been awesome to like." Just because you live in a townhouse you're renting doesn't mean you can't buy a squat, or like you could have put the same gym that you have in your house in your rented townhouse. I guess the only thing was maybe if you only had like a 1 or 2 stall garage and didn't want to park on the street. I could see that being the reason of why he couldn't have started the home gym, but I don't know. The best time to start the home gym was yesterday in my book. And then I did hit him with a least fun most fun, basically podcasting together. And I think my favorite answer was Tanner saying, the least fun is definitely not having, or the most fun would be not having to go outside when it's fucking -18 to drive 10 minutes back home every fucking week for like years on end. So, and always enjoy, hearing them do these episodes. So for that, I'll go ahead and give it a 5 out of 5 Massonomics Gym iPod touches.
Yeah, definitely enjoy the Q&A. I was on most of it live, but then I just had to bail for obvious reasons that are not so obvious. So I enjoyed the what company are you merging with? Because as I was driving, I yelled Pillar 4 over and over and over and over again, and it took Tanner longer than I wanted to crack that joke.
Yeah.
My one question was if the lifting department T would be the permanent blank. But I guess the other Joey asked about Florida. So in the Discord, everybody was ragging on me for asking about the move to Florida, but I don't think that was me that actually submitted that. So that was pretty funny because then like later I was thinking back on I don't remember submitting that, and I don't remember why I did. But I guess they were talking about it the week before, where they were joking
Mm.
about packing up and moving to Florida.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. If they got bought out or something.
yeah, so good episode. Always love that. Gonna have to give that 5 out of 5 puppers.
Nice. He did have a puppers, and
Yep,
then what was the drink? Were you familiar with the drink that they had that they didn't like? Was I don't even remember what the fuck it was. They like they're what's in the can for that episode.
that was the
Uh,
puppers. Yeah,
that was a
they didn't love it. And you know what? Like I don't.
was it the week before then? It was something that they didn't like. One of the episodes, I swear they I fuck. Oh
No,
no, sorry.
this was
It was from the live recording. This I don't know.
no. So the puppers.
Oh
Tanner
no,
gave a
it was from last
3.
night's recording. Sorry, yeah, yeah.
Tanner
Yeah.
gave a 3. Tommy gave a 3.5, and I would say the same. Puppers is it's a standard lager, but it has a weird licoricey taste to it that I find is a bit overwhelming. So if I'm drinking beer, I'll have like one puppers, right? And then I'll move on to what I normally like, right? Because the
Yeah.
puppers is just the letter Kenny Shorzy connection.
I just realized I made the mistake, and I was getting because I listened to the first like 45 minutes last night, and last night they did a what's in the can or like a I think it was actually funny because it was something that someone had just left at like on the kitchen counter at Massanomics gym, and Tanner was just it was like almost a full sixer or something, so he just like took it home and like put it in the fridge and gave the Tommy one, and they both gave it like a 1 or a 1.5 out
Oh,
of
geez.
5. So I can't remember what the fuck it was.
That sounds like a
Oh
next
no,
week
it was
topic.
no. Oh, yeah, I know. It was fucking coconut water or something
Ugh,
gross. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that next week. But it always
coconut
throws me
water.
off when I listen to the next one before we even talked about the previous one. But
Well, wrong
all right.
again, Keith.
Oh, fuck you. It's literally like someone like do the ratio though. Like I'm wrong like 11% of the time, and Joey's wrong like 17% of the time. It's
Wah.
close enough.
Wah.
Uh
If you think I'm done with that, if you think me and Nate are done with
fuck
that
you guys.
entire concept, you
That's
are
fine.
wrong again, Keith.
I can't always be right. Can't always. I got a lot on my mind. There's a lot going on up here.
I mean, it's just that you went so hard
Did. I did.
with the Huck Finn gif.
No, that was the best.
Even when I'm kidding,
I know.
even when
Well,
it
it's more
wasn't
fun.
me, you're just so quick to post it, and I was just like, oh, I'm gonna fucking get him.
It's good stuff.
So I waited until 8 p.m. today to post
Yeah,
that
you did.
Instagram reel because I was like, oh, I hope he barely sees it right before we
I
record.
did. No, because I saw the text and I thought because you sent like
The
the cool
sunglasses
guy
emoji,
the cool
yep.
guy sunglasses, and I saw that at like 8, and I was vacuuming, so I was just like, oh, I thought you were responding to something we were talking about earlier in the thread, and then I didn't get on Instagram and see that because I don't have alerts on Instagram. I didn't see that till like 8:20, like right before I sat down, and I was like, oh, you fucker, and then I had to like. I did the whole thing where like I fat thumbed it and it like went away halfway through, so then I had to go start it over again and watch it, and then I was like, oh, they really did get me like 3 times, you bastards. It was really funny. But let's see what else happened this week. Big Chris Mark went over to Scotland and lifted the Denny Stones, got the
That's
complete
so
lift
cool.
there.
That's
But
so
I don't
cool.
remember what it's like 700 pounds or something total, something
Yeah.
crazy like that. So that was dope. So enjoy the rest of your week out there, Big Chris. More travel, dude. The sisters literally fucking they went to the Carolinas during a fucking like a mass murder hurricane. Like they got so lucky that whatever portions they happened to be in, they didn't get completely
Yeah.
fucking annihilated. Because like I don't Chris and Randy from Belt Fed are posting on their stories every day, and it's just fucking destroyed down there.
Yep.
I mean, it's something out of a fucking movie. Like some of these roads and bridges that are just completely washed away. Like I've never seen anything like that. Like that's very sad to see. So glad the sisters are all right. Nothing happened to them. They're gonna get a shit ton of content. Watch Juji's home gym video tour of Gym Home. I mean, I'm sure Joey got through it all, so we'll let him tell us all about it.
No, I
Obviously
fucking
not.
slept.
No. Yep.
I slept from like 6:30 to 7:30. Like I didn't see shit. I
But I
got
do
home from
know
work and went right to bed.
Yes, sir. I do know Big Nick consumed at least most of it because he was out there on the back 40, with it on the cell phone there. So what'd you think of the Tanner and Tommy heading down to Juicy's gym and getting a little tour going?
Was quite the gym, quite the video. A lot of gold around there, so pretty nice YouTube video. Really like the part where Juji was showing Tanner about quad development for kind of small quads.
That's good. No quad Tanner. Yeah, all in all, I enjoyed the video. It was I'd be surprised. I'm curious how many other crew actually, consumed the whole thing in the first couple hours it was out because I think Tanner even messaged me. It was like, hope you have a free hour and a half before the podcast or something to that extent. And I was like, yeah. So I think I watched like the first 20 minutes while I was finishing up my accessory day, and then I, went upstairs and watched the last of it on the big TV. And then like I got up to like get dinner because it was like, 5:30, 6 o'clock, whatever. So I paused it and I got up and I felt like I had been watching it for a very, very, very long time. And I paused it, and it was like 40 minutes left. I was 40 minutes into it, and it still had like 25 minutes to go or 27 minutes to go. I was like, it's like, God damn. But I didn't feel like there was like dead spots or like just
Yeah.
filler or anything. I mean, it was just them, and Juji can talk. So it was, I wish Tommy had got in a little bit more. I mean, it was basically Tanner doing the gym tour with Juji and Juji kind of talking 80% of it. But, it's always nice when when Tommy's behind the camera and like, puts his 2 cents in every now and then. And, I enjoyed that. But, I think the next couple videos, or I think they were going to they recorded, maybe like at least like a dozen videos or a half a dozen videos are going to get out of that weekend that they, spent a lot of money to procure for us. So I'm excited. I know they're doing some like, what was it in their stories? They had fucking chalk everywhere. They were cleaning up the gym and stuff. So there's some kind of grip contest they're going to get into. So, and they visited with like 5 or 6 other people, and I'm sure they get a little bit of content from most of that. And, just all in all, it's really cool to see them doing that. And, be anxious and curious to see where else their travels take them in the upcoming years. If they get out and, go visit if there's clusters of crew in one area that they go visit or something like that, that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, that leads us into Big Nick. Do you got a little ad read for us, buddy?
Yes, I do. Are you wearing pants right now, or are you Winnie the Poohing it? If you aren't Winnie the Pooh, I have an apparel company to tell you about. Massonomics is the premier lighthearted strength and fitness brand in the greater western, northeast, South Dakota area. Do you need formal shorts? Lift shorts are the go-to. Do you need um, formal shorts but need to hide your small quads? Camo lift shorts are what you need. Do you wear a size small? You could pick up the last pair of deadlifter shorts and be on the right side of history.
Mhm.
Are you looking for a shorter inseam short? The Lift Shorts 3 are right up your alley. And as a perk, every pair has $2 bills in the pockets. That is currently all in the stock after the big 50% off sale. So presumably making some room for maybe some new merch possibly. Let's make sure you buy anything else on the site, just as long as it isn't a hat. Finally, make sure to email getbig@massonomics.com and ask for a restock of the All Go No Show t-shirt.
Nice.
Classic t-shirt. You're on the wrong side of history if you don't have one of those.
Yeah, I was a late adopter of that shirt. But once we had like 7 guys wear it on our podcast simultaneously, I just figured, just for that reason alone, I got to pick one up. But it's definitely still in the rotation.
Yeah, I got the last one. I am once again asking for a restock of the Silkies.
hmm
Put a different logo on it or something, but I need a second pair, maybe a different color. It's my favorite lifting shirt or shorts.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel like those must have. I think they had just ordered those when they got the cease and desist for the
Yep.
lift, and then like they
Yep.
literally never made the website. I don't think. And then
Yeah, it was a crew only.
yeah.
So if you're listening and you want Silkies, email getbig@massonomics.com. Going through the back catalog as one does, leading up
There
to
you
Crew
go.
Falls. They've been talking about these since like episode 2. We'll get our own shorts, and eventually we'll sell them ourselves. And
So how
here we
far?
are.
Yeah. So let's harken back on the general topics there. Where are you at on the backlog, buddy? We got to do your weekly checkup.
Just got to Highland Games, which I think is episode 25 or 26.
Okay, you're chipping away.
I'm busting out about 2 to 3 episodes a day right now
Nice.
because they're still only 45 minutes. And if you skip the intro and the outro, you save about 20 of those minutes.
Oh, you don't want to hear the robot lady?
Oh God, no. Or just the same Find Us on Massonomics by our sweet merch.
I can't even remember. Like, is it because I never really watched him on YouTube? Is that Tyler reading off a script, or does he just like put that in post? Because
Oh,
it
yeah,
does.
I'm not watching the YouTube, but I can literally, it's
Yeah,
the same intro and then the same outro.
yeah. I'm
And
curious if it's
it
all
does
like
take
that
up
was
a lot
post.
of time. So I was like, hey, I can save so many minutes by just skipping the intro and outro.
There you go. Well, I think we covered
Unless they're,
general.
hold on, the crew thinks I'm skipping out and it's not a legitimate listen or whatever it is that they're doing to me right now.
Well, I would say that if you're listening at like because you have thrown out different numbers. At one point, you said you listened to like 1.8 or something, and then other
1.75 is where I'm at.
which I was like, I don't think I could consume it at that speed. Like one, give me
I
one
don't think I could
five at the
consume it
most,
at any other speed because
like
I
one
tried at
five.
1.25 because I listened to the weekly episodes at 1.25, right? And then I tried listening to the back like those episodes at 1.25 and I was like, this is fucking painful. Like I can't.
Like too slow, you're saying?
Yeah, it's way too slow. And
All right.
so
Yeah,
I was like, all right, 1.75 is pretty reasonable. Sure, I might be missing a few little like one-liners or something because I'm driving while I'm listening, but I'm getting it.
yeah, you are, buddy. Um, all right. Well, I think Carp's had enough of us tonight, and
You see it's
Brian,
still
we
here?
gotta get rid of all these guys, and then see if we can get that big Nick guy on the phone.
All right. Big Nick, is that you?
Yes, it is. First time caller, long time listener.
Hey,
Welcome. Welcome to Unpaid and Underrated. Like I always say, we're not gonna do any pre-record. We're gonna jump right in so we don't miss out on any of the golden podcast moments, which apparently are
indeed.
just me hiccuping into this microphone for the
I
next
know.
two years.
I was like, am I gonna fill in? And how long is he gonna be gone?
Like every time I turn it off or I lean back, I'm either coughing or hiccuping, and I just cracked a beer, so
Hiccups are the worst. I've
it
like
it
there's
is
this thing on Amazon that I've like almost bought like 10 times that I remember seeing on Shark Tank. It's like a straw thing that you blow in or you suck in and it's supposed to like cure you of hiccups or supposedly. And then I'm always like, this is stupid. I'm never gonna buy it. And then like I delete it from my wish list and then I get hiccups like the next day. I'm like, motherfucker. It's
oh yep,
without fail.
that's the voodoo. It's the
Man,
Amazon voodoo making you buy shit.
useless shit I don't need.
So Nick, you've
Yep.
been here a long time. You've been part of Massonomics as far as I can recall. So I have to ask the two questions. What is your card number and what's your Hall of Fame number?
My card number is 37, somewhere in there.
Oh
Really?
hell yeah.
225, 2021 was when I joined.
Very
And then
good.
Hall of Fame status, I'm kind of lacking there. This would make number 9.
All right.
Getting there.
So got to
Chipping
start
away.
doing some traveling because the last easy one will be in February. That'll be the 4 years. So uh, Arnold shouldn't be hard, but then it's kind of pretty much going to have to make it to Aberdeen at some point in time, or Crew Falls.
Yeah. So that this will be my second trip this year to South Dakota, which is wild. Because if you'd asked me like 5 years ago, like what state do you think you'll spend the most time in? I probably would have said California, like maybe Colorado, like some of those like scenic areas. And now it's like 2024, and I was like, I've been to South Dakota more than literally anywhere else.
I'm gonna have been in SD 4 times in 24 months. Like that's
Yeah,
like
this will be my third time in a
I
year,
know.
actually. Like
Yeah.
it's or yeah, in a year and a half. Yep.
Oh no, yeah, so same.
All right. So how did you find Massonomics? Like how did you get to number 37? Like what brought you in
So
is our question always.
so basically, it was the end of the Mark Bell's Power Cast. Um,
Yeah.
I was got into podcasts because of that podcast, and pretty much listened to every episode. Started over, got through the backlog. They started doing 2 episodes a week, and I thought this is great. All the content I can consume, and then all of a sudden, episodes stopped coming out, and I was like, "Well, what's going on?" And then doing some Google searches, I guess I don't I mean I had some Instagram at the time, and I think I'd come across Massonomics a time or two, but I guess episode 95 would be kind of the where I think I joined into the podcast. That's the end of Mark Bell's Powercast. Listened to it to try to figure out what was going on. They had a little inside scoop that was in January 29th of 2018. Pretty much where they said that podcast was ending, and I thought, well, it's this podcast got some potential, so I jumped around and started listening, and I guess I've been a listener ever since. And then I don't know. I guess I don't know how soon they started the supporting membership, but I think I listened to episode 255 over the weekend because that was the closest to when I joined. That was Jen Thompson. I don't. There's nothing in there. I don't even. They barely even had an ad read for joining the supporting membership at that time. So I don't know. Other than that's right before my birthday, so evidently I gave myself a birthday gift that I've continued to every month pay Massonomics to be a part of this whatever this is.
Wait, so just so I understand, so obviously, when the Powercast ended, you said you were Googling like what happened to the Powercast, and you found Massonomics that way. Is that what you think happened? Because that's
something like that. I have no idea.
Well, that's like we'll just say that you found Massonomics via Google, and then let's kind of think about that one. Like, how many other people you think found Massonomics by Google? Probably not too many. Like, I don't know how good their SOS search and SEO. SEO, yeah. Like, I don't know how good that is. So, like, we're just gonna say that Big Nick was the, Joey was the first one to create a paywall, and Big Nick was the first one to, find Massonomics on a Google search. That's pretty cool.
First one to discover a Discord behind a paywall. Yep, that was me. So you've got your Natural Life shirt that you've given what looks like the Karen cut to. Is there one that you missed out on that you wish you had?
The blue lift shorts, basically the ones that you don't get the certificate of authenticity for, because I think I have everything else. But yeah, I missed out on the blue lift shorts. I didn't quite realize what was happening at the time, and how exclusive that
were those 100 only again, or
yes.
Was that something different? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess some of these were 50. I know that was the 300th podcast. Yeah, everything else was 100. So
gotcha. Yeah,
the curls and the breaking parallel and the bench heavy blue.
I'm curious shorts. If they just felt that like wasn't, because they haven't done a 100 only or a 50 under exclusive in years, have they? Like, at least, like, what was the last one? Breaking parallel, or the curls, probably the gold curls, which that was like super early into my Massonomics tenure. So like we're talking like 3 years ago, I think, is when the curl shorts were a thing, at least 2.5, I'd say. So I'm curious if, To
my knowledge, it was supply chain constraints that made the blue shorts, and they can only get like 100 of them, I guess. So
with everything going on.
Yeah, with everything going on, that was just smart marketing.
Actually, you might be one of the first to kind of trigger me to do this, and so I'm going through all of my Massonomics order numbers, and if you ever wonder if I am at 10 orders or not, you fucking tell me.
I gotta compile all mine. They're like my shit's spread out in like 7 different drawers.
Which certificate of authenticities I have. So I have the supporting membership one. So that might be interesting to bring up at some point, because I only have 3. Right. I've got the curls, the breaking parallel.
I got those.
And the collector 300th episode collector kit.
I got all those.
But then I also have this, which is the Born Primitive Lift Jorts one.
Don't have that.
Oh, that's really neat. Yeah. I never thought to look at that, because like I think I have a couple of weird things in there. I have a couple from Obsidian. I have one from Scants. Scants actually ripped the cover off of one of the Massonomics one to write me a personal note when he sent me something. So that was really neat there. That's really fun. I might look at that. I might look into that.
Did you see what Jeff sent?
My name is Jeff.
Our guest a couple weeks ago, Quinn. Did you see that? Where he
Which
sent
one?
Quinn, Jeff, like,
I saw the post, but I don't.
Yeah. So our, one of our founding fathers here, Jeff, helps us out and does a lot of our, mails out the stickers, and every now and then he does something really witty. So he sent the Nicolas Cage monogram thing with like Quinn's like thank you card or whatever.
Oh, I missed the Nicolas Cage part.
Oh,
that's
awesome. It's in our story somewhere. I can probably go into the archives and reshare it or something. But actually, maybe Quinn made a post about it. Actually, yeah,
He
no,
did,
Quinn
yeah. I
Quinn
saw the
tagged us to make a
post.
post. But yeah, if you have to like really look at it, it's the Nicolas Cage like crazy face and like on the backs on the the background of the card. It was so well done, Jeff. We appreciate you, buddy.
Very clever, Jeff. Do you want to hit Nick with the least fun, most fun?
Yeah, I had a hard time thinking of a good one. I went through everything we had, so this is what if this falls short, we'll blame you, Nick. So anyone not familiar with this game, it's it's a relatively new game we play around here called Least Fun, Most Fun. So I'm gonna give the guests one topic, and they just have to tell me least fun thing about it and the most fun thing about it. So Big Nick, let's go with mowing the lawn. The least fun and most fun, buddy.
The least fun is that it takes about 3 hours to do. I guess that could also be the most fun thing, but I just get to be with myself and either catch up on podcasts or I do listen to quite a few of them, and then I guess I do get to if I do get caught up, then just listen to the country music while I'm mowing the lawn. So
Nice, nice, yeah. And that's not. So you have what kind of mower are you using out there? Because I know you had had a whole bunch of stuff about how you love striping lawns and all that, and figure we just
yes,
kind of get all the lawn talk out of the way here now. You seem like a man that's got, from what I've read, you had strong opinions about striping your lawn and mowing grass in
oh,
general.
yes, there's a certain rotation to mow so you get the right, regrowth coming back. So I got a pattern, I guess, of different patterns that you mow into the lawn. But I got a bad boy Maverick lawnmower, 60-inch deck, and yeah,
Did a
so
zero turn?
it's a zero turn, yes.
Nice, yeah.
And
So
then
you gotta those things they're pretty dirty, but they're fun. That was like my favorite part of my old job was like I got to cut the grass once a week and it took about 6 hours. So I just that was like pre like having good headphones. I was out there with like shitty air regular headphones with like big construction earmuffs over top of them and stuff. So and then what you just that's just like your physical yard has nothing to do with really the farm or
that's
anything. That's
that's
just
the
like your
physical
front.
yard, and then my other lawnmower is a 1969 International Harvester 140 with a 72-inch belly mower that I
Nice.
mow the roadsides with and the lane on
Gotcha.
the two farms that are closest to my house. Yeah, I live 9 miles like west of where our main farm is, and then so I kind of take care of the grounds, make things look nice over here on this
Gotcha.
side.
And I saw that
Is,
you. Yep.
is that what CCA means?
Yes, CCA. Well, I mean, CCA stands for Certified Crop Advisor. That's one of my professional, I don't know, titles I hold. I guess I've passed an international test and a state test to become a CCA. They told us it's really important to have, and I have really never used it in my life. But
That's
you know,
So I guess
really
I
cool.
would. I more or less don't know. So you're part of a big family farm, but then you also have a job
I
in
would not
agriculture.
say big, but yes,
Well, it is a big part of your family life is
yes,
that you own or are part of a family that owns multiple farms that are backed up to each other or something. But that is unrelated to your day job, other than the fact that
yes.
it's like the same. Like,
Yes, other than the same industry. So I work at a co-op, which is basically a bunch of farmers got together and said, well, you know, we need to pool our purchases of fertilizer and chemicals together to better get our um, basically get our costs down so that
yep,
we don't get screwed on you know buying small amounts. So then they created a co-op, so the farmers are the owners of where I work, and then so that's how then they basically I guess they appoint board of directors, and then they basically um run or basically make the decisions on who runs our business.
interesting, very interesting. And then on top of that, so you're putting in probably 50 hours a week at that or so, and then or more, and then you come home and work on the farm.
Well, I don't really get to work on the farm too much.
Okay,
I
so
don't. It'd definitely be between 50 and 60 hours a week, I guess. So I'm not entirely sure. I don't. I'm a salaried employee, so I don't really
yeah,
get to punch in and punch out. So
fuck
it's
that.
Mm,
I don't really know how many hours I put in.
Oof.
salary. I'm on
No, thank you.
salary, and it's just like today I went in and the guy that was supposed to work today was like, I'm not feeling good. I need to take the day off. And then I was like, well, that means tomorrow I expect that I'm also going in on my day off. And that stress alone, I was just like, it just did me in for the day because I was like, I'm doing
Yeah.
7 days this week now because of this shit. Yeah, yeah. I don't take salary. That
No,
is my.
I'd have to make like 30% more than what I'm making if they wanted to put me in a salary position.
But I'm actually half kidding. I enjoy it because there are days where I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? Screw you. Like I'm at 40 hours this week and I still have 2 shifts left. I'm doing half shifts. Bye. Like it's luckily my company gives me that freedom as long as the business is running.
Nice.
In a rare kind of something that hasn't happened in a while, we have a lot of crew questions.
Well, everyone gave me shit for fucking not asking their stupid questions, so this week I have to put everybody's in there. And actually, this week I
There are
think is
good
big.
ones, and
There are good
I even
ones.
have
Yeah,
one, right?
exactly.
Like
Yeah, they're not. There's not bad ones this week. So,
there's not bad ones.
but I will admit that like I did, you know, not include any submissions for last week's guest, but I went back and looked. There were like two, so
Yeah.
it's like you guys didn't give me a lot to work with, and I just forgot to go back and look.
Ask Scants if he's old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, there's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah, yeah.
that.
Thanks, guys.
We did get a lot of, I did get a lot of, that gave me a lot of runway though of the what year people were born. And actually that on the Instagram poll I did, there was more 90s than 80s by like a
Yeah.
not a big margin, but like 10 or 15 crew, give or take. And there was more 70s than I thought. There was almost a dozen 70s.
Oh,
And
wow.
I think Scance even said that he knows that he's not the oldest crew. I believe that's what he alluded to in one of his comments. But then I had like eight different people respond to the initial story with like, oh, it's you didn't have the 60s or the 50s or the 40s or the 30s, and I just screenshotted every single one of them just because it's like, it's good for engagement. They all got some responses, so I think everyone knows we're just busting his chops. But it made me laugh all week. Sorry
So
to
yeah, no,
sidetrack
it's
that a
okay.
little.
Why don't you hit him with like two of those and then I'll do some of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Let's see. What do we got? So. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So Big Ryan, I don't really know what he's talking about. So I guess it's planting related. So beans on the right, corn on the left, or vice versa. Is that a question that makes sense to you?
Well, see, there's a crop rotation, so I guess one year the beans would be on the left and the corn would be
Oh,
on the right, but then the next year the corn would be on the left and the beans would be on the right. So,
interesting.
and then
What type of beans are we talking about? Just so I like soybeans.
soybeans,
Okay, okay.
soybeans, yes.
Thought so.
We grow plenish beans on our farm. We get a little bit of a premium for that. So they are just Roundup ready, so weed control is a little bit more difficult. But they have a better, I guess a better, less fat when they make the oil for the processing. So
Interesting. So Big Jeff wants to know. He's got a another microwave question because everyone's been talking about microwaving chicken this week. So I'm going to consider it another microwave question.
Well, this actually is from something.
Yeah. So microwaving corn in the husk, is that legit or is it cheater mode?
um, I've never really had great results with it, but I there's a bunch of people that swear by that's the only way that you
Never
that you
tried
cook your
that.
sweet corn.
Now I want to
Huh.
try it.
Um,
As opposed to just
they
boiling it? Like I don't that's
Yeah,
weird.
they tell you leave it in the husk, and then like the silks just fall off when you
Hmm.
microwave it in the microwave. So I mixed results that I've had, but lots of people swear by it.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was in the Discord. Somebody posted a picture and they were like, my coworker always brings the weirdest shit for lunch. And I don't know what this is. And it was literally
Oh,
just 3 full husks of corn in the fridge.
that's
And
funny.
somebody said, like, oh, you just microwave them in the husk. It's easy. And everybody was like
Hmm.
fucking what? Like I've done popcorn in a paper bag, right? Like fresh popcorn on the cob, you just oil it and throw it in a paper bag. So I can see there's some relevancy there, but yeah, never tried that. I'm gonna have to.
Oh, are you gonna hit up Home Gym Con in Louisville in 2025?
Um,
I know you're in Indiana, so it's got to be a little bit farther, but still ought to be like within reason to drive.
yeah, it's the location's pretty nice. I mean, last year I went to Louisville for the National Farm Machinery Show, in February. The only problem I have with home gym con is the later date. I believe it's in
Yeah.
June, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the last
So that's
weekend or the third or fourth weekend in June, and that kills me for, you know, not wanting to do two vacations 4 weeks apart that both cost a couple, a significant amount of money, and then waste all my PTO in this a 2 month period, and then just be annoyed the rest of the year that I can't take vacations. But I think with that date change, I'm pretty confident that the sister podcast won't be showing up this year. So I think if crew came specifically last year to see the Massonomics crew, like sure there'll be some of us there still maybe, but I don't think that the sisters will be putting an appearance in unless something changes with the date, which I don't see happening. But it was cool to meet you there
okay.
last year. We had a nice,
Yes.
we had a good turnout. Was that the first time you met crew in person, or did you get done with any
Yes.
Indiana crew meetups or anything?
Nope, never had a. Well, no, I guess Dr. Big J or Big Dr. Jake from State Farm. I met him at a powerlifting meet that we both did together. So
Oh, that's cool.
that was the first crew meetup. Never didn't think to take a picture or anything like that, but that was in that was right. Yeah, that was right when COVID started. We didn't even, I'm pretty sure that meet we didn't even know if it was going to happen because it was like the weekend after the Arnold, and they canceled the Arnold that year,
hmm
and
I had a
it
meet.
was like what's going to happen. So
I had a meet around the similar time. It was like March 18th or 23rd or something like that. And yeah, got furloughed. That was a Saturday, and I got furloughed from work on Monday. Like we went into the office Monday, all our projects had canceled that like indefinitely that were scheduled, and then we got an email that night that we were all on furlough. I was like, cool. But no,
Okay.
that's cool. Yep.
All right. Least fun, most fun. I think this one is from Big Jen. She sends a least fun, most fun to you, Nick. Being a new dad. And I would love it if you would explain the whole story. You're frozen for a bit, so give yourself a second to come back there. There you are. Yeah.
am I back
So,
now?
yep.
Okay.
I would love it if you explain the whole story because it is a really cool
I mean,
story.
where do you want me to start?
Well, I wasn't going to ask that one just yet. Oh, I mean, I would, but I know you have an older daughter too, so I would go with the whole because you've got two adopted daughters, right? Or is your other daughter
No.
okay?
So
All
the
right, I
first
got that one.
one was some intervention where we had a donor. Basically, my wife was able to have her, but then she also struggled with infertility. So I guess I don't know. I guess we'll start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Basically, I was born with no balls in the sack per se. They develop in your stomach and then they're supposed to work their way down. So mine never worked their way down. Then it was basically by the time you're 1 year old, you're supposed to have a surgery to bring them down. And somebody dropped the ball, literally, I guess.
So no, they
Or
didn't.
didn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
they didn't drop the
Doesn't sound
ball.
like they did.
Um, so nobody caught that. So it became I got to like sixth or seventh grade, and I had like two hernias, like right where my where I wear my waistband and my pants, and like I was playing sports and playing basketball is where it really happened. I get really hot, so I think I don't know, your balls are supposed to get further away from your body to try to dissipate heat. I had like two hernias there, so then they were getting caught like there, and I have like this massive pain in my like right below my stomach. I'm like, man, I don't, something's wrong. So we went to my doctor, went to a urologist, and we found a specialist in Indianapolis, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of rare to have a 13-year-old that I do this surgery on, but so um, we I basically had surgery to bring my testicles into my ball sack, and I guess after that it was kind of everything was normal again. I guess I didn't really ever catch on that like, oh yeah, there's something kind of different about me, you know. I guess
Mhm.
I didn't really catch on to that. But anyways, so one of the side effects is that they were too hot basically most of their life. So I do not produce sperm. So kind of flash forward multiple years, get married, time to start having a family. Not getting pregnant. So we go to a fertility clinic in Fort Wayne, and they're like, okay, well, it's time to, give us a sample here um, in this room over here. So I don't, Big Quinn, had a little bit different story. I had a nice leather couch. I was a little I didn't quite know, like, what's the cleaning procedure, how many
Was
bare asses was sat on this leather
was
couch.
it white?
No,
Hmm.
it was black.
All right. That's a very
So
niche joke, by the way. Sorry. Go ahead, keep going.
so yeah, then I had a TV and a DVD with all sorts of different genres, I guess you say, and do the thing, and then the doctor gives us the results. He's like, yeah, well, you have no sperm, so this will be easy though. But this is the easiest part. We just get a donor, you know, do the thing, and your wife will get pregnant. Well, evidently she had more struggles than we thought too. So um, we took a while. We ended up, she was able to get pregnant. I've got a 7-year old. So that was that time. And then when she got to about a year old, we decided to try it again, and it just was not happening this way. So COVID happened. We decided to move. We put that all on pause, and then we decided to go the adoption route a couple of years ago. I guess 3 years ago, we decided to, and some struggles up and down doing that, but at the end of the day, we finally got matched, and now we have a second daughter. So she's 1 month and 1 day old. So I got a 7-year old and 1 month old. So
I love it.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, I think we all saw that on your feed or on you posted in the Discord.
mhm.
And you were, because I don't know if I really saw the follow up, because you were basically like waiting for the thumbs up that you were good to go home. So you basically had to just like drop everything, go down to Texas, and you and your wife just like lived in a hotel room for a couple weeks or a
Well,
week
we had
or
a VRBO, so
oh.
yeah, we went down there. They told us they told us it was absolutely going to be 10 to 14 business days is what it was going to take. And so Mila was born on Labor Day, so we didn't get and then she was very small. We didn't get released from the hospital until Thursday night. Um, and we didn't sign pay. I guess the big thing was we signed papers Thursday morning. So then that got turned over into the judge after, and then they had to talk. The state of Texas had to talk to the state of Indiana and say, hey, there's an adoption going on, and you know,
Oh, okay.
um,
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that being.
otherwise, supposedly, if you cross state lines, they call that kidnapping, and
I was about to say,
they don't
that's
want to do
actually
that.
what I was thinking. I could see
Yeah,
crossing
Yeah.
state lines with a baby that isn't yours, how hard that could be.
I'm not sure how they know, but
Yeah. You don't want to
if you
find
got
out.
caught, it definitely wouldn't be worth it for what
Yep.
adoption costs. That you wouldn't want to risk it on doing something like that. So
I can see that. Yeah.
we were down there, and then all of a sudden they called me and they said, "Okay, you're free to go." And it was like I think it was like the seventh business. Yeah, it was.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it was the seventh because it was Thursday, and then we ended up going home on Friday. So
Amazing.
um, we had a VRBO that we paid for 2 weeks. That
I don't know what that's the second time you said that an acronym. I have no clue what you're saying.
it's like an Airbnb.
Okay. What the
I guess I don't know.
you don't know either? Okay, I'm glad I'm not
Well,
the
I
only
mean,
one
I would
confused.
assume it's like an Airbnb. I don't. It's just another
I don't know.
another one of
You,
those
you
things.
say it so confident. VRB, VB. I'm like, what the
Yeah,
fuck did he say?
Mm.
Anyway, this is the
yeah.
I'm
podcast I
thinking like
learned.
virtual room and board something. I want it. Like that's if I had to make something up, that's what I would make up.
Sounds good to me.
Did you move to protein or is that a Coors original?
This is Coors
Oh,
original
Banquet. Yeah, yeah.
banquet.
You guys are lucky. You get banquet in the States.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We get the branding, we just don't get the word.
okay.
Well, that's awesome, man. So congratulations. Girl dad
Thank
all
you.
the way. Love it. Love
Yep,
it.
yep. Outnumbered, but I
So
love it.
I'd say we got the backstory of that. So let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the least fun, most fun, as far as basically having a newborn.
So having a newborn, I guess the waking up at my shift is the 2 a.m. shift. Fortunately, I guess she is much more content than our first daughter was.
Mhm.
So she's pretty good about sleeping for about 3 hours. So we try to feed her at 10, and then I get up at 1 to 2 somewhere in there and feed her, and then and change her diaper, and then my wife gets her at that I guess it would be 4 to 5 time frame, and then we're up by then. So I'm up for work, and then either depending on how it works out, she's taking my older daughter to school, and then I take care of her until I got to go to work, and then something like that. So um, it's not terrible. I can't complain too much, but that's probably the least fun part about it. Especially as harvest is coming up. Today was the first big day of harvest at work. So working longer hours and then also getting up in the middle of the night to feed is, not going to be the most fun coming up. So the most fun part about it, I guess finally being done with that and having our family complete would be the most fun. She's just yeah, I mean, everybody says it. I mean, I said it about Haley when she was born, but she's the most cute baby you'd ever seen, and all that sort of thing. So,
yeah, they got to make babies cute, or else we'd eat them.
That is, if I said that, you would instantly say that's a really weird thing to say, Keith.
It's because you don't have kids, so it would have been extra weird.
True. Back. So you're a Purdue alum?
Yes, I am.
So is Mike Allstott the best Purdue football player of all time then?
Little
before your time, but
pretty good. Yeah, a little before my time. Before I was.
Well, I guess it'd
Purdue
be
fan.
with Drew Brees maybe.
Yeah. Drew Brees,
Drew Brees is probably
but
better.
Quarterbacks. I guess I would identify better with a fullback. So
Yeah, that's fair.
I'd agree, since you're taking up most of the camera right now. I think that was definitely a little bit of a shock, because I've only ever seen pictures on Instagram. You were much bigger.
Oh, he's a big dude. Yeah, he's big.
You're much bigger on Zoom.
Maybe I
than
got
you
the
are
camera
on
too
Instagram.
close to me.
You have one of those cameras that's tracking you. That's kind of neat too. I think.
Yeah, it like zoomed in a minute ago when he was like telling his story. I was like, oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't quite like it because sometimes the unpaid and underrated banner kind of gets cut out a little bit. So now it looks pretty good.
Yeah, we need that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
My kids say that now. It's the best.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the couch, and then they're both eating. I'm not even in the room, and I just hear my little girl go, "Okay," start dying. Anyway, what do you got now?
My favorite topic is, do you got a good poop story from 6th grade you want to tell us?
Yeah, sure. So I guess 6th grade me took school very seriously. We were taking a standardized, they called it I-step testing. I don't know if that was Indiana standardized testing, something.
We're not good
But
with acronyms
anyways,
here. We've already went over that earlier.
Yep. So it was very important testing. It was basically going to, decide whether I was a success or failure for the rest of my life if I didn't pass this. So yeah, it was very serious. Got through like the second to last testing before lunchtime, and I was like, man, my stomach was just rumbling. I did not feel good. I was like, man, okay. I just make it. I can make it. I can make it to lunch, and I'll be fine. Make it to lunch. So started the next testing session, and you got the this was the pencil paper bubble sheet type of test or sort of thing. It was math, I remember, and
big math.
So we was going through it, and I mean I just had to go. It was just not good, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna go through as fast as I can, get this done. And I was kind of letting out just a little bit of gas here and there, thinking, oh, everything's all right, and get done and ask the teacher, I got to go to the bathroom real bad. So go to the bathroom, and yeah, it was not good. It was not quite gas.
You sharted. That's good stuff.
Yes.
So is that better or worse than when you had to take a something at your tiny little office right before a big sales meeting with a customer?
Yeah. So this was when I was at Purdue. I took a sales class, and I was supposed to be an intern. Yeah, his backstory. So I found a seed saleswoman that was she really knew her stuff, and she was my mentor, I guess, for this project. And she says, well, okay, we're gonna meet. I don't know, it was on spring break at Purdue, and It was 2012. Not really relevant, but anyways, I met at this place, and we were going over our like pre sales call meeting. So we were going over in this tiny office with the she was actually like a sales rep, so she was there with the actual salesperson from the co-op location. And a lot of these co-ops in our area have like an old office, and then they built like a new office later on. So this guy was still in the old office, and it's just basically bare bones, tiny. Now offices are more I don't know, creature friendly and a little bit nicer, bigger, more open. So anyways, he was in this tiny office, and it was in the morning, right away in the morning. I didn't get my morning poop out of the way, go to the meeting. Yeah, I got to go to the bathroom. I was there plenty early. That was fine. Go to the bathroom. I mean, it just smelled awful. This tiny office comes in. We start going over the sales meeting, and then this other guy comes in, and he wasn't shy. He comes up to me, he looks, and he says, "What the hell crawled up your ass?"
Oh, that's the worst when you got to go
Yeah.
in a small. Like I deal with that every now and then at work, where it's like the only place to go is right in their property management office, and it's like they don't even have a vent fan. So like I like turn the sink on a little bit to kind of make a little bit of this noise cancellation, and it's just like, oh God, it's the worst. But it's good stuff.
Did that affect your sales results?
I really don't know. We had a good sales meeting, but I guess I don't know what ended up happening. The meeting went well. I guess in agriculture, you kind of wait. You always want to be like the second guy in line. For guys are pretty loyal to their to who they buy from, but then you kind of wait for those guys to screw up, and then you got to be there in the waiting. So I don't know if that was the case with this seed sale per se, but
I have a friend that actually left the company I'm with to go and sell farm and construction equipment.
Hmm.
And I keep waiting because as soon as they kick the benefits in, I'm just like, yo, I'll send you my resume. Because I've done sales. Now, the exact opposite of sales is I understand that you have great buying power. So how many bottles of shampoo do you have?
well, probably. See, I live 3 miles from work, so and it's not towards town; it's away from town. So when I go to town, you stock up on stuff. So right now, I have the shampoo and conditioner combo, but I also in Texas I had to buy I bought the three-way combo, so I guess you got to count that. So there's another bottle. It's but I'm using that as the body wash at the moment. And then yeah, I think there's probably, I don't know, two or three probably still sitting in the closet waiting for I don't know, another day. As I guess buy two get one free or something like that. I don't know.
And
So
then
yes,
when
we
they go
probably
on
do have.
sale, I understand you're going to buy some more.
Probably. I mean, I'm not bald, but I do have very short hair, so it probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But in my mind, it's a deal.
Well, it's not just shampoo, right? We're talking deodorant, lotion, chapstick, protein
Yeah,
powder, which when I read this, I just smiled because I'm like, that's a man after my own heart, man. Like, find something you like, buy it in bulk, and fucking, you only got to buy it like twice a year. I'd
mhm.
rather spend like $100 to buy 6 months worth of fucking deodorant or whatever, not deodorant, but like any fucking something. I don't want to have to buy the same fucking thing every
Oh yeah,
4 weeks. I want to
I'm the
fucking buy it.
opposite. Yeah, rate my deodorant. I'm just like, oh no, this is only gonna last another 5 days. Got to go out and get another one.
No.
I just don't like having shit around the house. Like
I
I
I
hate
love
it.
having backups. I love having
Yeah,
backups. But
the only
ironically, I'm fucking out of deodorant, and I ran out of deodorant and toothpaste, and I went to go get my backups, and they're all fucking gone. I
oh,
didn't like
that's what
how
that
did
is.
like I was so annoyed. I was like, where the fuck is my extra?
Yeah, the only
So
thing I stock up on is like toilet paper and stuff like that, where it's like you can't get to your last roll. Like that's just not an option. There is
yeah.
no last roll. There is the last roll in this package. But no, when it comes to like toothpaste and shit like that, like I'm the opposite of you guys.
Well, speaking of packages, did you almost show your package when you ripped your tuxedo pants at the wedding?
That's a
I'm
good segue.
not quite sure which wedding, but
Well,
probably yes.
okay.
Wait, have you ripped more than one tuxedo?
I'm sure I have. Uh, these thighs are dangerous.
So the specific story was you were taking pictures, you jumped over a handrail and split your pants, and then all the
this was
bridesmaids. So it
yeah,
must be
this
your
was
sister. It's either your sister's
it
wedding
was
then,
my
maybe.
sister's wedding.
Okay,
Yes,
yeah,
that was that one. Yes, that was a pretty egregious one there. Yes, it was probably showing off just a little bit too much. I don't think at that point in time it was too much to drink, but that has been a problem at a time or two. So
You mean
um,
every wedding ever?
you
Do you buy beer in bulk also?
I mean,
You have a beer. You got a beer fridge.
well, I don't have electricity in my barn. Otherwise, I probably would. But at the moment, my garage fridge and my basement fridge are kind of one and the same. So everything's in the basement right now. So
Gotcha.
I do, because that's pretty much our alcohol fridge. So
So I will have to. We touch base this for a little bit here. There's not too many people that predate me on having a home gym, and I scrolled all the way back to your Instagram, and your first home gym post was from like mid or early 2014. So you chipped me by about
probably
a year. So how has that journey been? It looked like you were in a different house when it first started, and is this just version 2 now? And
this
just
is
in
version
general.
3.
Version 3, okay. Just in
Yep.
general, it sounds like you sound like someone that doesn't like going to town very often. So I guess having your home gym has to be a nice addition to your life.
Yes. So Fort Wayne's kind of I don't know. I guess lacking and like I guess more of a powerlifting type gym. There's I guess your YMCA and your they got a lot of anytime fitnesses and whatnot, but there's not. I don't know. There's just I don't know. It's nice to be at my house, but also um, there just wasn't very many options that were close by. I live on the southeast side of town. There's not a whole lot out here. Um, there's actually a pretty nice powerlifting oriented gym on the northwest side of town now that opened a year ago. They just had their 1 year anniversary, but uh, so yeah, I don't know. Always kind of thought, I guess, getting into lifting, it was a lot of elite FTS articles. So I don't know. I'm not really necessarily in the home gym space, but equipment based. So I was kind of looking at their equipment offerings and whatnot, and it's kind of always I don't know something I always wanted to have. So got my first. I guess I started out in the garage of our first
Yep.
house that we
Yeah, I
rented.
saw that.
But then I quickly moved that to the basement just because of there was no insulation in there, and
Yeah,
I
it's
could deal
smart.
with the humidity, I guess, in the basement
Oh, they make
a little bit better.
dehumidifiers.
Yeah. So yep, we started there. We lived there for about a year, and then we decided that I've lived basically I live where my brother-in-law lives now, my wife's brother, on their farm, and then that was a 45-minute drive to work every day. So
Ooh.
we decided to move to the west side of Fort Wayne, so I'd be closer to where I was working at. And then I had we built a 3-car garage, so I basically knew that the one stall was going to be my gym at that house. And then
Hmm.
um, we decided I was transferred to basically where my home co-op was, my location where I grew up with my dad going to get our fertilizer and chemicals and whatnot. So then it was back to driving 45 minutes in the opposite direction. And then so we decided to build this house where I guess hopefully are going to live forever. So and then
So now you're living near where you're working, right? Because I think I
yeah.
got lost there on a couple of days. Okay, so you're still on family land most of the time. Just on your family land is so big that you could live on one complete opposite side of it and be 45 minutes in the other direction.
No. This was we lived in just a housing addition just randomly over there. So no,
Okay.
we did not farm over there.
Gotcha. Okay. I must have misunderstood then. I got you. So, well, that's cool. Sounds like everything's you know, turning, coming up for Big Nick lately then. You got your you got the job you want, you got the house you want, you got the family you want, and it sounds awesome, man. We all love that. Hear that.
My turn.
Yep.
How many drink spotters is too many drink spotters?
I don't think there's a number.
And
I
how many
guess
do you
I did
have?
not. Well, see, I'm a little perplexed right now because I did not get an answer. I didn't follow close enough attention while I was running my sprayer during the GG Mufu video.
have.
So I don't know how many he has, but I know he's got a gold one now.
Yeah, I think he was at like
I
6 or
guess it'd be
something.
kind of nice to have a Massonomics red one, but
Mhm.
I don't think there's an answer to too many. So, I've got two original 1 inch hole drink spotters. I've got two 5/8 inch originals, and I have four drink
Jesus.
spotter lights, and I have two XLs. So I suppose I
You have
should
10 fucking
probably
drink
invest in
spotters.
a few
Holy
more
shit.
XLs.
That's yeah, you stumped my number, but that's so many. I thought I had a lot. Jesus Christ.
Now I gotta watch that video. How did Juji get a gold one?
That was a Tanner gift. I think
Uh,
I had to have been the one because didn't the wrestler kid fucking win one or something? And
Austin.
yeah, so didn't his wife win one for her video or something like that? Like, wasn't that a thing a few years ago? And I'm assuming they had another one because like it didn't look like I don't know.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Tanner. Okay. Next Joey question. What's the best soil composition for cool beans?
so I mean, definitely a loamy soil would probably be best for cool beans. Um, that way you have a perfect mixture of the three components of soil, which would be sand, silt, and clay. Um, you get too much clay, you have a lot of water holding capacity, a lot of nutrient holding capacity, but the soil gets tight. The roots can't dig down deep. Um, you get on the ground too wet, cause compaction, not good. So sand, you don't have a whole lot of compaction to worry about. Nutrient holding capacity is not very good. Um, Water holding capacity is not very good. Although maybe I should amend my answer because the world record for the largest soybean yield per acre came, I believe, in Georgia on some sandier ground that's irrigated. So maybe I should go with some sand where they can spoon feed nutrients and everything it needs. So, but I would say in general, a loamy soil composition would be the best for um, cool beans.
We know Tanner likes to, draw lines in the sand, so that probably would be, more the more sand the better.
He's drawn line in the loam now.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
I don't know
line in
what.
the line in the loam has been drawn.
That we've got to pass that deadline, right? Like I feel like that was a couple episodes. It means we
Yeah,
should
it
be
was
getting a
it
gift.
was
We
this
should be
week.
getting
They
a gift
definitely
any
mentioned
day.
it was past in the last
Yeah,
episode.
we should be getting a gift any week now. I'd hope that'd be cool.
Do you want to do an FMK? Like we're getting
Do you want
about
to
an
tell us?
hour and 10. So,
I want one more story, and then we can
buddy,
go
keep
right in the.
going.
I want to hear about the painful elimination and
Uh,
how your wife gave you wrong advice. I guess unless that was in. You didn't add that to unpaid, did you?
where is that? No.
Nope. Okay.
What?
Oh no, so there's a do you know what we're talking about, Nick? That you
No.
you ordered a burger called the Painful Elimination,
Oh,
and your
I
wife
did.
said
I
you've had
did.
it
I did add
you've
that
had it
to unpaid
before.
under. Yeah, I had that to
Ah
underrated.
shit,
It's all right. Keep
my bad.
going. Tell us the painful
Let's hear the story.
elimination story.
yeah. So yeah, it was
Oh yeah, spicy foods. Yeah, shit.
wings, etc. I guess, and I'm not real great with spicy foods. Sometimes I think I'm a little bit tougher than I am, maybe, and yeah. So I thought, oh, this can't be too bad, and yeah, it was pretty bad. It was. My wife told me to just stop, and I
There's no stop.
said I cannot do that. I ordered this. I was always taught, don't leave food on your plate. So tried to keep going with it, and it was just not good. Um, Very spicy. Could not handle it very well. And then yeah, the elimination part was pretty bad too. So
Yeah.
Nice.
There's
Good.
no stopping. Once you get that spicy and you're just like, well, it can't get
yeah,
hotter.
I mean it's just not
Like
gonna go
be
away.
overwhelmed. Yeah, I think the ghost pepper wings, the first time I had those, I think is no, I had Reaper pepper wing, and I was like laying on the floor, a complete just mess. hammered, by the way. And my wife had to take them away because I was like, no, like you can't stop. You've got to get through them now. And she's like, no, you fucking tool. Like she took them from me. I think she put them in
You
macaroni and cheese the next day.
you will be proud of me. Like I understand it's like it's not spicy at all, but it's just like commercial quote unquote spicy foods at fast food. But when I go to Chick-fil-A, once every few weeks I'll, spoil myself with some Chick-fil-A. I do go with the spicy chicken sandwich with pepper jack cheese. It's like it's really not spicy at all,
Mhm.
but it's just like it's not,
It's
it's
spicy
not mild.
enough.
It's just like, but it's like it gives a little more kick, but anything more than that I'd be like, nope, that's all I want. But yeah, I think that covered the majority of general. We can hop right into. You want me to do FMK? I gotta.
Well,
Uh,
like so, Nick, like you say you're not great while you're establishing your FMK. You say you're not great with like spicy food. Like, what is the? Because you obviously like it, right? Like, you wouldn't have ordered that if you were afraid of it. So, like, what is your basic spice level? Like, if you can name the pepper, that'd be awesome. Or if you can name the food, like Keith just said, his Chick-fil-A pepper
Yeah.
jack is.
The flamethrower at Dairy Queen was just a good amount of flame, I guess.
Oh, that I actually remember I had that one when it first came out. I was like, I'm going to
It's,
Dairy Queen to get that.
it
Yep.
was it was probably not very spicy for you, but
I noticed. And that's
yeah,
that's spicy enough, right?
okay,
If I'm eating it and I go, whew, that's good. Then that's usually where even my wife would go, well, then I know not to try it because you're broken. So no, that's a good call. That's a good call. And that's I think was jalapeno and Scotch bonnet level, I think. Maybe spicy. I know it had jalapenos on it. Pickled jalapenos hit different, by the way. Like raw jalapenos are terrible, but pickled jalapenos, they decrease the heat enough and increase the flavor enough that they hit different. They're awesome. All
all
right,
right,
yeah, go ahead with your FMK.
all right, Big Nick. We had some good submitted ones, so I didn't actually have to, pull these out of my ass like I do some weeks. So I'm gonna pick one of the stock ones we got here. I like it. So I would go off of their movies personally, but you have your druthers, so you can answer it however you want. So FMK. I'm gonna go with three dudes here. So we got Clint Eastwood, Sylvester Stallone, Arnold Schwarzenegger. FMK.
ooh, boy,
Eastwood, Stallone, Arnold.
I'm not gonna be well liked for this one. So I guess I'm gonna have to kill Arnold. Um, I don't know. I just never watched very many of his movies growing up. So I do really like Terminator. I did watch that one. That was kind of the exception. Um, anything
Terminator or
else?
Terminator 2?
I guess both of them.
Because most people,
And
when
then
they say Terminator, I feel like most people are talking about T2, at least in our
yeah, they
age.
probably
Yeah,
are. You're probably right, but that's probably the first one I watched, and then
Same.
came back to
Yep,
the
same.
first. And then I guess Jingle All the Way would be the other one that I watched. And then everything else has been kind of more as an adult. Um, so between Clint Eastwood and Stallone, I don't know. I guess there's enough, like not quite real good. Well, let's see what would be FMK. I don't know. I guess I'd marry Stallone. I like the trashy '80s,
I like.
um, action movie sort of thing. So then I guess that leaves I'd F Clint Eastwood.
There you go. That's a good one. All right. I dig
good.
it.
Yeah, that's a good list. I think Stallone is definitely the better of the action movies of those three,
Yeah, I like a lot of
right?
Stallone movies. There's a lot of bad ones, but like Arnold, I don't know. They're Stallone's like it's hard to say. Like Stallone, I don't know. They're both bad actors, but Stallone is a better actor than Arnold in general. And
I
I
I'd
don't.
put I would put Rambo First Blood up against any Arnie movie. Absolutely.
Yeah,
It tells a better story. It's got a lot of really heavy tones.
yeah,
It touches on a lot of subjects where you're like, this is a shitty action movie, but then like it's talking about the treatment of veterans after the war. It's talking about masculinity. It's talking about like all of these fucking things in an action movie. So I
yeah.
I, I would put that movie up against any other movie except for maybe Gran Torino. Because I think Gran Torino touched on a lot of that stuff, like really other tones as well too, but not an action movie, right? Like I don't. He maybe throws
Nah,
like
not
two
really.
punches in the whole movie, right?
Yeah.
But then Rambo Last Blood was shit.
There's you can't. They kept going back to the well with fucking
He's like
Rambo
he's
and
got
Rambo.
tunnels under his house to
Yeah,
Mexico because he's a
yeah. That one was.
survivor. Get fucked. The
I
movie
didn't
sucked.
watching.
I almost walked out actually.
I
I
also
think that
can't.
was what?
So I was just saying, like, because I was trying to say, like, watching him do shit as like a 65-year-old is horrible, but like Tulsa King, he's literally 75, 80 years old, and it's like one of the more popular TV shows right
I
now. And
actually love that show. Yep.
no, I do too. I watch it. It's
Yeah.
just like it's crazy because it's like he doesn't look that much different from when he did when he was like 45, or whatever. Like in
Yeah.
his like, he looks almost more normal now than he did when he was super juicy. All right, you gotta get a Mount Rushmore.
I do, actually. I might even have two. Depends on how
Yeah,
this one goes.
do it.
So Mount Rushmore, and I have been told that there is a correct answer. So I have to compare your answer to this answer. The Mount Rushmore of John Deere tractor models.
Ooh, boy. What would be the correct answer of John Deere tractor models?
I won't tell you who gave it to me because that might give it away.
Huh. Well, I don't know. I guess we'll go with with the ones that we own, I guess. So Mount Rushmore, the John Deere MT. I'm a part owner in that with my brother-in-law. That was his grandpa's, my wife's, and his um, grandpa's tractor. They bought brand new. Part owner in that. John Deere 40, which would be basically the newer model of an MT. That tractor was what the tractor that my dad learned to drive on. I just picked that one up. I bought that one at an auction just recently, so kind of a childhood, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, I guess classic car thing. He bought that. Um, so then I don't know. It gets a little bit tricky, but I'm gonna go with in age and horsepower. I'm gonna go with the John Deere 730 diesel wide front. That's a tractor that I do some tractor pulling with. Still has the hand clutch. Actually, that's the first one of the tractors I mentioned that does have a hand clutch, which is kind of a John Deere. Uh, I guess they're kind of known for in that two cylinder engine. Um, this was a 730, had quite big cylinders though for two of them. And then I'm gonna go with the John Deere 4020 um, side console only version. So that'll be my four.
All right. I think two of those were on the list of the correct answer. So
Okay.
Tanner would say the correct answer is the 4020,
Uh-huh.
the 4440, which is why I
Yeah.
said that this was the
Hmm.
episode title.
See, we do
The
not we
A
do not own a 4440. We own a 4430 on our farm, but so that'd be the
he
smaller model, little
he said
sister.
he said the A and the 50.
The A, we have an A and the 50. We do not own a 50. We own a 60.
Okay. Okay. So another one that
Okay.
we talk about, actually, I feel like we've talked about it a lot, and the Davids are gonna start ragging on us for it. But Mount Rushmore of male country singers.
Ooh, male country singers.
Well,
Okay.
I don't say Garth Brooks today.
Why?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
missing
you didn't
something
see
there.
the fucking the sexual assault accusations that came out, like the lawsuit and shit today?
Oh,
Something big happened. I had it in general topics, and I was like, we probably shouldn't talk about it. But then I was like, oh, we're gonna talk about male country. I didn't deep dive it, but my
uh,
wife came home and said like, you'll never guess this who was, but also, I don't know.
yeah.
Let's
Okay.
actually
Anyway, give us your answer.
let's
Just give us your answer.
yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I was influenced because a lot of other people did like Garth Brooks. But I will not. He probably was not on my list. So are we going? We're definitely going singles acts.
No, let's
I
hear
use
We're
my
going with
druthers
your
here.
druthers.
so Brooks and
Okay,
Dunn,
Brooks.
Alabama, throw it out. Montgomery Gentry. I want to hear them all.
Okay, well, Toby Keith, uh, defining artist in my adult life.
Same.
We'll go. Oh boy, who else? We're gonna go with Colin Ray.
Mm.
A lot of good Colin Ray. Growing up.
Oh yeah.
I guess that's always kind of what I don't know. Go back to when I was in that, I don't know, 16, first driving a car sort of thing. What did I have in the CD player?
Absolutely.
A lot. So that's kind of where I'm basing a lot of this discussion on. Um, then we will go with Montgomery Gentry. Probably
All right.
favorite
R.I.P.
duet, or at the time. A lot of people give me shit that I don't have Brooks and Dunn on there, but I don't know. I guess I was more of a Montgomery Gentry guy at the time. And then a band, I guess I would go with Blackhawk. Kind of probably a little bit more under the radar, but couple really defining songs of me growing up there.
It's a good list.
Kind of blanking on them
It's
at
a
the
good
moment,
list.
but you know,
There's definitely like 3 or 4 artists that probably never, well, at least Blackhawk and Montgomery. There's like multiple people probably have never been mentioned on this podcast before. So I like, as you and I think we definitely same era of country music that we enjoyed growing up for sure.
yeah, I was always a little bit behind the curve, so that probably fits from you know, the '80s versus the early '90s birth date.
How old are you, Nick?
I'm 33. I was born in '91.
Okay, on tracks. You're a little younger than us, but thereabouts.
Spring chicken. Spring chicken. Do you guys, was there a band called Florida Georgia Line?
Yep. Yeah,
Yep.
that was like way after when I actually listened to new music. They were probably 10
They
years ago.
suck.
They blew up. Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like they're
They're just
bad. If I recall correctly, like I think
They're like
because this
fucking
is
boy pop music that
yeah, I
wear
think this is
fucking
a thing Nick might find
bedazzled fucking
contentious.
jeans and shit.
Yeah, is I think they were the one of the defining I hate new country moments was when they got big. I was like, this is the worst shit I've ever heard. And I heard that like you kind of hate when people say they hate new country.
Well, I mean, a little bit. There's definitely songs of Florida Georgia Line and Luke Bryan would be the other one that were major. Um, uh, I guess contributors to this. The new country sucks. Some newer Jason Aldean probably falls into that. Old Aldean definitely a little bit different, but yeah. So I don't know. There's I don't know. I guess still some catchy Florida Georgia Line that you know I would listen to that I don't just skip if it pops up. But yeah, I guess in general there's a I don't I don't I don't totally disagree, but I can see where they're coming from when they say the you know the new country sucks. But
Yeah,
you know I don't know. There's some stuff I enjoy.
it's like Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He hasn't fucking made a country song
I
in
know
15
it was a
years.
joke. Have I
I did.
mentioned?
I did really kind of like her as when she was a country artist.
I did
I haven't
too.
really followed her as much as a pop artist, but you
Same.
know,
Did
I
you
don't.
see some?
Go ahead.
Someone I saw on Instagram or something like someone spent like $3,000, some large amount of money to buy a signed Taylor Swift guitar just to smash it for Instagram or something. And I
oh
was like,
yeah,
what the fuck? I was like that hate is
people are fucking stupid.
it's like I gotta have a lot of money. Like unless you can recoup some of that revenue in clicks and likes and shit, like you just threw away $3,000 for like maybe to get mentioned on the news once for
Bozo
some
shit.
dips. Yeah, exactly.
That's
whistling
I don't
bozo
know.
shit.
Unless it's
Whistling
like
Diesel made a career out of that. So I mean,
that kid
I
fucking
guess you
has.
can.
He's an
Um,
annoying human being.
have I mentioned Lightning Luke yet?
That's a new one for me.
All right, put it on your list.
Like,
He's very old timey, but he's like a newer guy. But his voice, every time he comes on, I annoy Morgan because I'll just go, God, I love this guy's voice. And she's like, I know. And you say it every time he comes on.
Hmm.
He actually plays fiddle for the Bridge City Sinners. So you never hear him sing. And then his solo stuff came up, and there's a song. If I could give you a song, it would be My Walking Stick. And it's literally just about his cane and how he enjoys walking with his stick, but it's very old timey. And it's been in my regular rotation lately. Very old timey, like, oh, brother, where art thou, old timey?
Gotcha.
And we's mass communicating.
Shit. I went to
Odd.
save it on Spotify and it just started playing. I didn't like catch it through the headphones until a second ago. I was like, like how long has that been waking up my wife?
Okay. I think that's about all I've got for
Yeah, I mean,
my like.
we get. I mean, I feel bad. Your sister and your mom and you even gave us a lot more stuff, but you know,
We got
there's only
time.
really, I mean, so the family farm, it's your wife's family, right? And you guys are on it. It was just that was a big one. I know they wanted us to hit on, but I think you kind of talked about that.
well, no, I mean, my wife does her family does farm, and then my dad,
But
and my mom.
it's your parents' side then.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
that's the farm that I'm gonna be involved with, I guess,
Okay.
unless, something different happens. But yes.
Gotcha. I mean, yeah, we could go through here forever. I'm just trying to. I think we got enough of it sprinkled in and unpaid. I think we'll hit all the
Maybe
good
like
stuff.
episode 600 will have me back on again or something like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Go through some of that stuff.
We're
my
gonna need
goal.
repeated people before that.
Yeah. One thing I was thinking about. I mean, this is not really a Nick thing, but like, we could get some old guests on and just do like we have this novel idea to do, topic episodes. We'd be
Yep.
the first ones to do it, and just get like three old guests, just have a round table on like a just and shoot the shit for an hour. But would that be too sets and repsy? Like I don't know. Like as a listener, if you're listening this far, you're obviously a listener that enjoys the podcast. So let us know on in the Discord if that's something you'd like to see every now and then, like once
What
every
we'll
like.
do is we'll do this like thing where we all come in with like information on like where the Highland Games started. And like we'll have an episode every couple of weeks where we just all have really well researched information on just the historical lifting stuff.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
would I would
That's a
challenge.
callback. That's actually a callback
I
to
knew
episode
that.
like 23 or
I thought it
22.
would be, but I would challenge the crew and the listeners to actually like approach Joey and Nate and I with a topic that you want to be a guest on and talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't want to do all the work. Like this is your chance to contribute more to Unpaid and Underrated and have your own little like you could almost be the featured host or something, and then ask. I don't know. I like the idea of I want this to go on indefinitely. And granted, I have 100 more people we can get on as guests, but like we can stretch that out even farther if every like 3 or 4 months we do wouldn't call it a filler episode, but a non-new guest episode
It's
where
gonna
we
have
don't.
to evolve. I think
Yeah,
you're right. I think in this format, while it has been effective for us, it's gonna have to evolve because we're gonna run
yeah,
out of we're
yep,
going faster than crew is growing.
basically. I
Even though
mean,
crew just exponentially grew, but like, how many of those people even listen to us? How many of them want to be on
yeah,
here? How many want to
that's
be in the
that's
spotlight, right?
yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's 400 crew, but do more than 150 want to be on a podcast? Like, so we got another year, 2 years, and then what are we gonna do, kind of thing. So.
Yep.
But all right, that'll lead us into we have this game we like to play. Big Nick. So unpaid or underrated is a game that we like to play here. So we're gonna give you a couple. We're gonna give you 6 to 9 topics, and you tell us if they are underrated, which means you think they are awesome, and if they're unpaid, they suck. So, Big Nick, unpaid or underrated turn signals.
I'm gonna go with mostly unpaid. A lot goes into where I live. I don't really need to tell the corn and the soybean fields where I'm turning, so why put your turn signal on?
Hmm.
So that's kind of my theory. So yeah, and then in my travels we drove from Dallas back to Fort Wayne when we were, well, I guess, going down and back to pick up Mila when we adopted her. And yeah, a lot of people just like I get annoyed and frustrated when you're in a line of people passing a semi, and then all of a sudden he turns his turn signal in and he just cuts you off because he's going to pass the guy and he's going half a mile an hour faster than the semi in front of him. And I mean, I guess he used his turn signal, so he's telling me he's coming over, but I don't think that's quite right.
Well,
He,
You know,
he
I feel
didn't
like there's.
signal intention. He just did it because it was the thing to do, right?
I was just supposed to back off and just let him pass and drive 5 miles behind him while everybody else gets behind me.
Well,
Yeah.
I agree with your second point, but I don't feel that has turn signals in general. But like, okay, so you're driving literally in just a cornfield. Sure, don't use your turn signal. There's no one around. But if you're like in traffic, are you an asshole that doesn't use your turn signal?
I mean, when I'm in traffic, I do try to use it as much as possible. But
You mean always like
there's
the
times
law? You
where
fuck.
well, there's times where it makes no difference where if I have my turn signal on or not. So
Nah,
what do I need to put it on for?
I don't think we can be friends anymore, Nick. I think I'm gonna unfollow you.
Okay.
All right. So unpaid or underrated solar farms.
I'm gonna go with the unpaid. Um, I guess I just recently read Elon Musk supposedly said some weird theory of I don't understand it. He said if you understand this, the whole world could be powered by a small area of Arizona and Texas, and I'd be fine with that if we could do that. Put it in places where um, productive farm ground is not being taken up. I guess there's some recreational concerns, I guess, at that point in time, but I guess the big thing is right now there's a fairly big solar farm being talked about being put in, and it comes back to landowner rights. I guess as long as everybody that owns the land is okay with it, but the problem is you get two or three landowners that sign off on it, and then you're kind of the guy that doesn't really want it, and then you're kind of forced to just go along with the flow, and that's where I don't really like the follow the herd mentality of we're just going to force this through because everybody
Yeah.
else isn't in favor of it.
I feel like rooftops in cities are highly underused, right? You've
Yeah,
got these flat, they're just collecting water because their drainage is shit, and they're just a tar paper roof. Put a fucking solar panel on. Get off the
so the
grid.
big problem with that is going to be the power companies, the electric companies.
It is the problem.
How do they that's not their the like so like I guess that would be more like a homeowner putting up a their own solar panel. I guess I'm all for that.
Yeah.
If
That
you want to do that on your own property, that's great, but
so
you know
that's the big contention here in Ontario is if I could, my dad has already said this, we'd just line the roof with solar panels if I could stop giving them money. But they won't let me do that. If I put up solar panels, I'm actually feeding their grid for
and they
them to
don't
give
pay
me the
you
no,
the
they give me the power back and I have to pay them for that luxury.
Mhm.
And it's like a reduced pay, but it takes like 5 years or something to actually make your money back from the solar panels. It's like, no, no, no. Just let me cut you off. Like you get fucked out of my house. I give my own power. That would be ideal. But again, it all comes down to, well, how do we mitigate the costs and make sure that we are still in control? It's the sun. That's why you can't. It's the sun.
So
That's why
like
you.
around here, you can't like if the power goes off, all of a sudden, you get a big storm rolls through and then it's sunny the next day, but you still don't have power. You're not allowed to use those solar panels to run the electricity in your
Yeah,
house because you could be feeding the grid. Well, I mean, I get it that, there's dangers, I guess, for the workers that are trying to restore the power, but I feel like there's some safeguards that like, okay, well, at this point we're feeding these batteries, it's not going back to the grid, but surely there'd be a safeguard for that. But
Yeah.
yeah. No, I get it. I love solar farms again for the same reason. Like as long as it's agreed by everybody, because I do kind of think the less power we give those monopolies, the better. But now we're getting political.
Yeah.
I just
We
popped this
did go,
in, so
yeah,
my brain is going.
we did go a
So
little more political than I thought. Solar farm. I didn't realize we were gonna. It was such a contested answer. I might
yeah,
do
it's
four. I got two
hard
more
to not
here.
get political.
yeah.
So,
Well, we got in trouble for not being political enough. The Davids were ragging on us. Joey won't talk about strippers.
no
Literally
Let's
cause.
start
interviewed
talking about
somebody in.
taxes.
Yeah.
I do love how we all
Start talking about taxes.
how like 99% of the crew like understand it's just like unwritten like no fucking politics in Discord. So
Yeah.
there was a politic meme posted or something, and we're just like, yeah, we don't do that here. Fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
no, thank you. All right,
I wouldn't say fuck off. I think we were just
well,
like,
fuck
whoa.
off with the meme, not the person in general, but yes, it's just it was just nice to see. So, Big Nick, unpaid or underrated vegetables.
um, I guess depending on which one, but overall as a whole, and definitely unpaid. I could do without them. Uh,
Isn't that your whole source of
just don't bring a lot
revenue
of
and
taste to my
career?
life.
Yeah.
You don't see the irony there?
Well, you grow some of them, but I guess corn would be fine, but like
Okay.
Is that
broccoli and stuff like that.
is that the kind of corn you grow, or do you grow like
No, so I mean, we do grow sweet corn. My sister grows, I don't know, a couple acres a year. I get to kind of pick the seed variety she's growing and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's a sweeter variety that you would eat. But then most of the corn that is grown in the fields around here would be either for animal feed or the majority probably goes to ethanol production.
Yeah, I
Interesting.
think we call that cow corn out here, the animal feed.
Yeah.
Do you have a farm stand?
Yeah, she does have a wagon. Now it's in front of her house. We did put it out by the highway, but I don't know, just people, she's got a little lockbox and people would just break that off and
That's
steal the cash.
shitty.
It's like,
That's
man,
fucking
what the hell?
scummy.
It's,
Well, it was like
$5
it's
a
like
dozen.
50, but like not like
Yeah,
that's
we
such
used to be a proper
that's
country.
such that pisses me off. That really upsets me. All right, I'm gonna do fourth one because I got another, and
Yeah,
that
man.
leaves you three or four. Just to harken back to last week a little bit. Pedal pulls, unpaid or
Yeah,
underrated.
yeah, definitely underrated. I was did some pedal pulls in my time. It was definitely um fun times. I did win one. Definitely not a state one or national championship or anything, but it was county fair. It was kind of my peak of where I was, a heavyweight, but I was still pretty young for the age groups, and I just kept getting a little bit too big, and the pedal tractors did not keep getting bigger with me, so it became kind of my gut and my thighs were kind of in the way of doing some good pedaling. I think the strength was there, it just could not translate to the correct the ratio.
Good. Well, we'll get you out to once you finally get your shit together and come out to Aberdeen at some point in the next couple of years, we'll have you and Ben out there on pedal pull cars, just trying to see who can pull the best, I guess.
Yeah.
Quick side question: are you drinking Sprite?
Me?
Yeah, Keith.
No.
No, I've got water and the bubbly.
Okay, I thought that was a Sprite bottle. I saw recently that Sprite is green in some countries.
The look, isn't it just clear?
It's clear here in North America.
Yeah, it just their color is green, like their
Yeah,
branding and
I
stuff.
was on TikTok and somebody was pouring a Sprite and it was dyed green.
So that's like the whole like how you guys have pink fucking cream soda or something,
Yeah,
right? It's just
because you can't
different.
because the other clear pops in Canada, a clear pop is not caffeinated, right?
Mm.
But in order to separate cream soda, which is also not caffeinated up here, they made it pink for whatever reason.
Wait, so then your Sprite shouldn't be clear because Sprite's
It is clear.
caffeinated, isn't it?
Not in Canada.
So is Sprite caffeine free in America? Like, I haven't had Sprite in fucking 20 years probably, but
It probably is.
I always assumed it was
Probably, I think it's caffeine free. Ginger ale
Okay.
caffeine free, Sprite caffeine free,
That
cream
tracks.
soda. Root beer was caffeine free up here
I don't think I would drink it
for the
then.
longest time, but I think Barks introduced caffeinated root beer.
If I'm drinking soda, it's gonna have caffeine in it, and if I'm drinking a sparkling water, that's the only thing I'm okay with caffeine free. Like,
Yeah, sometimes I want the sugar, but I don't want the caffeine. So that's why I'll take a ginger ale, like MacGyver. MacGyver drinks ginger ale a lot.
I like me some old school MacGyver.
Anyway, oh yeah, back to the podcast.
Yeah.
Nick, unpaid or underrated pumpkin spice?
That'd definitely be a unpaid there.
In all forms, do you eat pumpkin pie?
I mean, I have, but it's not my favorite. So, yeah.
Okay, unpaid or underrated IPA?
Another unpaid. Yeah, I don't know. Just not a fan. So,
Have you ever
Busch
had one you
Light,
liked?
No, not that I know of.
Yeah, there are most of the regularly consumed are lagers, right? Lagers and pilsners.
Yeah,
Unpaid or underrated jorts?
definitely underrated there. Just I don't know where you couldn't wear jorts to. So,
How many do you have?
well, I only have the two. I've got the original and then the camo for Massonomics. I do have a pair that I'm not quite sure. I don't. I guess I don't know. I ordered a size. Maybe maybe they were out at the time. I thought maybe there's a possibility I could fit into them. Never done anything with those, so I guess hit me up if I think they'd be like a size large. So if you want a pair of camo lift shorts, I've got a pair.
All right. And last but not least, unpaid or underrated, a good late dinner.
A late dinner. Well, see, I guess where I come from, that would be called a supper. Dinner would be like at noon time. So if you're insinuating that dinner would be at like the 6 to 7 p.m., that's unpaid. I don't agree.
And what would you call that?
Supper.
So
What
yeah,
do you eat at
the rest of the
midday?
world calls lunch.
Yeah. Do you eat
That's
like a
called
10 do you
dinner.
eat a 10 o'clock meal? You call so you don't lunch just isn't in your vocabulary? Is that what or
Yeah,
is
I
there
mean
is lunch like a 10
lunch and
o'clock snack?
dinner. Yeah, lunch and dinner would be interchangeable for me.
Okay. But supper
Same
has
meal.
no replacement. It's just supper is
Yeah.
the after 5 p.m. meal.
There's an argument in my family about that. Yes.
We heard. And I was waiting for that one. I'm glad it made its way down here.
All right. Well, it looks like you passed unpaid and underrated.
Indeed.
You even put up
You're
with some
looking
Sprite
there.
talk. All right. I guess that is now in your court. What would you like to ask us?
All right. Well, I've got a little game I'd like to bring back from the Massonomics podcast and have a little agronomy twist towards it. I'd like to play a little game of what weighs more,
Ooh, this would be
the
fun.
Ooh.
I'm
agronomy
excited.
version. So I guess I've got everybody here plus the sister podcast hosts, and we are going to say whether they weigh more than a bushel of different crops, agronomic crops. So to let you know, a bushel is a volumetric measurement that would equal 1.24446 cubic feet or 8 US dry gallons. So it's kind of a, not a huge basket, but kind of a decent sized basket. So I guess we're going to start with Big Joey. Then everybody's weights. I just looked up open powerlifting. So whatever you weighed at your most recent
Smart.
competition would be your weight. So Big Joey, do you weigh more or less than 2.5 bushels of shelled corn? 2.5 bushels. I guess this is open answer.
More.
Anybody can answer. More?
2.5.
So
Okay, so
shelled corn, I think, would be very light. Because is it dried?
Yeah, so the standard oh boy, I'm gonna get a bunch of shit for this one. I believe the standard would be like 15.5% moisture.
Okay.
Um yeah, standard bushel, number two corn.
Okay. So I'm gonna say I would weigh more.
all right, so
Okay.
a bushel is basically 8 gallons.
Yep.
So 2.5 is 20 gallons. So 20 gallons of
Shelled corn.
yeah. Ooh, that's gonna be close. I'm gonna say that Joey weighs more than that.
Okay, you'd be both correct. A bushel of shelled corn weighs 56 pounds per bushel. So 2.5 bushel would equal 140 pounds, and I had Big Joey at 162.4 pounds.
I
So,
wish I
yep.
still weighed that.
Okay.
I'm down to like 159 or something
Well, you're
stupid. I
still above
fucking hate it.
140, so
Yep, 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 yep.
we're good.
Hey, points on the bid. Now, okay. Are you putting that in your sandbags?
It'd be a very,
No,
very
that
light
that
sandbag.
does get kind of bad and rot a little bit. So
Obviously.
That
I
would
would I
make
would go
you
with some sand.
because so that would like you could make like you could get a 400 pound bag and fill it up and it'd only be like 100 pounds probably,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
and then you'd have to obviously dump it and then obviously well what the fuck would 400 pounds of that cost you? How much money would that cost?
Not very much right now.
Okay. That would be, but it would just,
Commodity.
I could see how that would make for like a funny video. It's like if you just like filled up a sandbag with like the lightest object in the world that filled it up and made it look like sand and
Oh.
throwing it around.
Just to bother Tanner because he keeps going on about pea gravel and sand.
Yes.
All right.
What you got?
I
So
won first
number
point.
More. Yeah, that was
yep.
awesome. That was fun. I dig that.
Number
Let's keep playing.
number two, we'll go with Big Keith. Now we're gonna go with 4 bushel of ear corn. So not shelled corn, but ear corn. So now it's like your sweet corn, but it'd still be for like cow feed or something like that. So 4 bushel of ear corn.
On the cob or no?
It is on the cob, yes.
The corn weighs more. Keith?
Um,
No Googling.
I'm calculating. I'm trying. I weigh more than everybody because I'm fat. So yeah, I'm fat. I weigh more.
So Joey's with the win again. So number two, 2 points for him. a bushel of ear corn weighs 70 pounds per bushel, so that would be 280 pounds.
Hey, less
Would
than
be
that.
4 bushel. So yep, less than that. So now we're gonna go with me. So do I weigh more than 8 bushel of oats?
Let's see. Oats
Dry,
would be.
dried oats, I assume.
Gotta
Yep.
be lighter, right? Because then we just do 8.
Yeah, no, definitely you.
Well, could we just? What was the one we just did? We did. Was it 4 bushels that I was
Yeah,
for?
but that's like full corn on the cob. I'm
But
oats weigh fucking nothing.
but 8's a lot. I'm gonna say that the 8's more than Nick. Just to be opposite. So I'm either gonna tie you or I'm gonna go fucking
You're
down
not
2.
tied. I'm 2 and
No, I
0.
said I'm going to tie you or I'm gonna go down.
And you'd be going down still. So eight bushel of oats. 1 bushel of oat weighs 32 pounds per bushel, and so eight bushel of oats would weigh 256 pounds, and I just under 274,
Nice.
or just under 275.
The Davids
So
will love
yes.
that I'm going down. So
So question 4 would be Big Tanner from the sister podcast. Does Big Tanner, which granted this was
yeah, what was the
his
weigh-in? Because he didn't weigh in for you.
his
He was under 2. You would just have to go. This might throw you off if you want to open powerlifting because his last competition was the strongman show and he was under 250. So hopefully you just put it in at like
And
249.
that wouldn't be on OPL.
I know that's what I'm saying. If we go off his open powerlifting, it was probably like fucking 270.
Yeah, he'd be pretty close.
Okay, so as long as we know what we're going off of, because
that is what we are going off of.
okay, because
So
Tanner today was not Tanner's last
no,
powerlifting meet.
this is
So
6 years ago.
we're going Tanner at 270.
Yep.
Ish,
Okay, yeah.
5 bushel of wheat.
What the fuck is wheat?
There is a little connection to wheat. Why Tanner gets wheat? Mergers and acquisitions and whatnot. So yeah, very deep cut if you.
How many bushels of wheat?
5.
8 gallons. So 40 gallons of wheat, basically.
I'm going to let Keith go first. I'm going to go with whatever the opposite of what Keith says.
Wheat weighs more.
So Tanner weighs more.
Oh, yeah, because if I lose,
okay,
Tanner's not fat.
You're losing anyway. I'm 3-0.
I know. I'm not big math over here.
So Keith is getting closer now. He pulls one behind. So
hey.
5 bushel of wheat weighs more. A bushel of wheat weighs 60 pounds per bushel, so that would be 300 pounds.
Yeah, Tanner's not 300.
Yeah, so
not yet.
When do you remember like what his last powerlifting meet was? Was it like 2018 or something, or 2019?
Yes, probably somewhere in that range. It was 272 is what he weighed in at on open powerlifting. So the final question would be a Big Tommy. So I guess this one's for all the marbles. Does Big Tommy weigh more or less than 3 bushels of soybeans?
Less. I assume we're talking like freshly harvested, or are we talking dry?
The 14% soybeans, dry matter. So, all
right, the beans.
I'll go opposite of Joey. So, Tommy.
I don't have a tiebreaker question, so I guess it's a tie.
No, it's
Keith
not.
Got that one right.
Because that's 5, and I'm at 3. So
oh yeah, that's true.
2.
Yeah, no, you both got the first one right. You got Joey got the second. So it was.
Oh no,
was
that
3,
is a tie then, because we
3-1.
The first one right.
Oh yeah, that's right.
No, because I got the first one right because Keith said the opposite that I would.
We answered the first
one.
We
both got that
together.
one right.
Oh, okay.
So then you got the next 2 right, and then Keith got the next 2 after that right. So
tiebreak, we win. We both win.
We both win. Everybody wins.
We did.
Everybody wins a car.
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah,
that was fun.
Bushel of soybeans weighs 60 pounds as well. So that was 180 pounds. And I had Tommy at 212.
Nice. Yeah, that's good stuff. That was cool. That was definitely the first. I was wondering if we'd ever get into something like this on this podcast. So I enjoyed it. I like when we pull from their back catalog of games they don't play anymore hardly. I think they just did a what weighs the more for the first time in feels like years recently. So that was nice. Well, I'm still down unless you got a couple questions for us. Anything I know you had said you had questions and a game, but I know I'm
we got a good 10 minutes to kill if we want, or we can.
I'm content with whatever you want to do, Nick.
He's got notes, by the way, listeners. He's got
So
notes.
yes, I have a couple pages of notes here.
I
I
did.
guess
I love the preparation. Nick's
do you
been
want to
waiting
have
for 18 months to be on this podcast.
yep, I was patiently waiting. I was excited when I heard this was going to start, but I guess I was pretty nervous. Definitely very nervous at the start of this podcast. So
Your zoom and camera's
um,
killing me, man. Oh my
No,
God.
stop it. It's fine. He's doing
No,
great.
no, it's just no.
He says he's nervous, and the first thing you do is go, "Yeah, well, this sucks." Like,
No, it's not. It's killing me as in like I can't stop focusing because it's focusing right in on you.
all
And
right, what questions you got,
sorry,
Nick?
what you got?
I guess do you want questions or do you want agronomic Indiana rankings in the states?
I
Just
would say go with the questions because that
okay.
kind of sounds specific. And the Keith's head in the drink spotter right above your head is hilarious.
Yes,
I,
yes, yes.
There's two of them.
I see it.
There's one kind of behind there, and then
Oh yeah,
there's one above there. So
right next to the "Show me your bush" flag.
yes, yes, yes. So I guess to both of you, what would be the strangest thing in your refrigerator right now?
Ooh, wow, I would have to go fucking look. I don't even.
I don't know. They did it. My wife and dad did a grocery shop today, and
That's a good question though.
that can always be strange shit.
Does freezer count too? I'm guessing.
Sure,
I'm
sure.
I'm trying to think
Why
if I have
not?
anything in my freezer that's weird.
Yeah, that's a hard
You're
ass
stumping me.
question.
Because like I don't know, like I purge a lot of like shit we don't eat. Like I get rid of.
There's a random tray of bok choy that we bought on sale. We pulled a nick and we bought a bulk of it, despite only needing a little bit of it. So I would say probably the rotting bok choy, because bok choy is a very underrepresented sad vegetable, right? Everybody jokes about bananas or avocados where they're only ripe for like an hour. Bok choy it's awesome, and then it isn't. And if you don't cook it properly, it very isn't. So I would say it's the bok choy.
I'm gonna go with I guess I don't. It probably doesn't count because I threw it away like a month or two ago because it was like I'm pretty sure it was like way expired. But I had finally my Midwest barbecue sauce was basically empty for the longest time, but there was just a little bit left. And I swear I think I looked at the expiration and it was like 6 months out of date or something. I was like, oh, this can go away now. But I might be mistaken on that. But I know I basically had the Midwest barbecue sauce in the fridge up until not that long ago. So I'll go with
Expiration
that.
dates are just the man telling you to buy
Dude,
more.
I'm too OCD. Like I won't eat like if the meat hasn't been cooked like from the like I have to cook meat the day before like it's sell by date or I'm like no, I'm not touching that. Like I'm very particular. It's my wife. It's one of my wife's biggest pet peeves about me. It's because she's like it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's like I can literally smell like the rot. Like
No,
it's
you
just
can't.
in my mind I can. There was once that we did cook something.
I did
I
that
don't
once. Sausages.
know.
I pulled out some. It was either ground pork or sausages, and we cooked it, and it was still gray. And we were like,
Yeah.
might have missed the mark on this one.
I think it was bacon or I can't remember what the fuck it was. I was so
Bacon's
pissed.
cured. It
No, it
can't
wasn't
go
bacon
bad.
then. It wasn't bacon. It was something else. What the fuck? Oh, I don't
Bacon
remember, but
can.
it
I
was,
take that back. Bacon can go bad. Like before everybody jumps on me, it can, but it's cured. Like it lasts longer than most meats.
yeah. Yeah, I wish I had a better answer, Nick. I'm sorry. That's a good question. That's one I almost like would want to prepare for and go like visually look and be like, there's gotta be some weird shit in there or in my cupboards.
Put you on the spot on that one.
That's what the podcasts are all about. We're not on this side as often, so it kind of helps me understand like when we throw curveballs at people and they don't have answers. It's like, oh, there's probably a reason because they're hard.
Yep.
All right. Was that it? Should we bring it on downtown?
Up to you guys.
Keep going,
I got
Keep going.
loads.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got a few more minutes.
They're just not potent.
So yeah, pretty much.
It's
So
an infertile joke there, David's.
so what was the worst and lowest paying job you ever had, and were they the same?
Yes. I was a telemarketer.
Ooh, yes,
Yeah.
that would be
You
fun
get-
to be hung up on all the time.
And that was the old, like back in the day when people still had house phones before cell phones. And you would get your list of the phone book and you would literally just phone people out of the phone book and ask them if they're interested in your product. And Um, I was very young. Like I want to say I wasn't even 18 yet. And yeah, it was the worst. And I didn't really understand the job, but it was the time before I had I hadn't diagnosed it yet, but I had acid reflux disease. So I kept getting throat infections. And when your job is to talk on a phone all the time, I would call in a lot because I can't talk. And the manager was just awful about it. And I ended up just quitting over the phone. I was like, hey, I don't think I can make it in today. Like I can't talk for this much. And she was like, if you call in again, you're fired. And I was like, well, I'll save you the trouble. Get the fuck out of here. Like, yeah, definitely that was the worst paying because it was hourly plus commission, but you don't make any commission on telemarketing because you've got to book the appointment. The appointment has to be set up. The guy has to go out. And once he closes the deal, then you get your commission. It almost never happened. Right. So yeah, definitely the worst.
My lowest pain, like, well, I guess, like, if it comes to anyone's surprise, I literally have a spreadsheet of every job I've ever had and like my starting dates and my salaries, etc. And it's just a
That's
thing that
fucking
I have.
wild, dude.
Yeah, well, it's the thing. Well, I think I built it over COVID when I was actually applying for jobs and trying to like figure out like my pay structure and where I've been, etc. But minimum wage in West Virginia in 2002 was $5.15. So that was
Ew.
definitely the least amount of money I've ever made. Um, Actually, I technically might have made less than that. When I was younger, my dad hired when I was like 12 or something, and we were like redoing our entire house. My dad hired one of the family friends, like teenage son, to help us as like just like do general labor, and he paid him like $8 an hour cash or something. And I was like, "Can I get paid half of what he makes?" And he was like, "Yeah, sure." So that was actually so I technically made less then, but as far as real like W-2 money, yeah, 515, which is crazy to think about. As far as the worst job, I don't know. I've had some shitty jobs, but anything that's like I when I first moved up here, one of my jobs was oh no, fuck that. I worked at a concrete plant, like building big road construction barriers and shit basically. So like just building the forms every day and pouring the concrete and breaking it back down and doing it again. That was through a temp agency, and it was 5 10-hour days, and which was already putting you at 50, and then like then they wanted you to work Saturdays. And I'm like, eat a fucking big bag of dicks, buddy. I'm not giving you 60 hours a week for what was like maybe like $10 an hour or something. And I was just
Mhm.
like, fuck that. So that was, and then I remember I fell and busted my ankle pretty bad, and I was like, oh, it's just gonna be out for like a week. As it, being naive and like only like 20 something, I didn't want to go through insurance because I thought that would like fuck the company. And my dumbass ended up getting fired like a couple of days later when I called off sick because I had a busted ankle. So that was my own fault for not fucking going through workers' comp and shit. But you live, you learn. That was
Mhm.
definitely probably the worst job I had. Was anything through a temp agency, specifically that one.
All right.
All right.
One more?
Do you guys want one more?
Yeah, fire away.
Always.
All right. If you could pick one musical artist to sing a duet with, who would it be and what song would you choose?
That I have to sing with? Well,
Yep.
I don't sing.
I do.
What do you do? I don't.
I actually had a video I was going to post, but the sound quality was pretty bad. I did a song, and you feel free to look this up. It's called Bread and Butter by the New Beats. And if you hear that song and you hear the lead vocals and you think of me doing it, just know that I am amazing at that song. So if you go and listen to it afterwards, go ahead and send me a message and be like, there's no way. There is a way. I am so good at that fucking song. Um, I, yeah, unfortunately, it's Garth Brooks.
So like, don't feel like I don't know that Garth Brooks is guilty. I just happen to see it in the
He's
news.
actually, I
I don't.
Googled it when you brought it up. He's saying it's outright lie. It's not
Okay,
true.
so
It's
yeah,
a money grab. Like he's normally when an artist, something like this comes out, they either shut up or they admit to it. And he was just like, nope, that's a lie. But again, we'll wait to hear more,
yeah.
obviously. But it would probably be Garth Brooks Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up.
You're gonna be talking fast on that one.
And forever. Like it's a rap song almost.
I could never get enough breath to finish
Yep.
the ends of that one.
I would, since I don't. It's hard to think of like newer stuff, so I think I'd have to go with like complete nostalgia. And one of the first like I think the first tape I ever had was a Tim McGraw tape. So something off of that, like early '90s. I'm probably gonna go "Don't Take the Girl," like because that was like I remember sitting and watching that like that, like I had it on tape so I could listen to it as like a 7-year-old or something, and it was on CMT fucking for like 5 years straight. It felt like, and it was just I don't even think I kind of only partially digested what the song was even about, but it was just like catchy and I don't know. I think I could actually like, what's a song? It'd have to be a slow song because I can't fucking sing fast, and it'd have to be something that I could like memorize the lyrics to. So for that analytical answer of being able to fuck it up the least, it'd probably be Tim McGraw, "Don't Take the Girl."
Nice.
That's a good one. If you have a list of more, I mean, fire them off my way. I'll start asking them every week, and we can call them next question because like those are pretty good, like hard think about questions. So if you have that list, and you want to send that to me. I'll start doing week because I'm out of Matt jokes
Who?
because
Okay.
yeah, because we killed that a couple episodes ago. So yeah, I'll do a weekly Nick joke if you have a couple of those that you want to send out.
Okay.
But you want to bring it in down home there, Keith?
Yeah, let me bring up the other Google Doc here. So everybody, go ahead and do us a favor and do yourself a favor. Our affiliate links. So, use code unpaid at all these places. They might give us a little kickback, and if not, you'll at least save yourself that 5-10%. So head over to Obsidian Ammonia. Make sure you spell it right because I don't know how to. Barbell Rescue, Plate Snacks, Home Gym Con, Belt Fed Strength, and the Strength Co apparel. So use our affiliate code at all those and save yourself a little bit of money. Big Nick, where are they going to find you at, buddy?
I guess I believe it's Nicholas underscore Rolf, ROHLF on Instagram, and Big Nick CCA on the Discord, I guess.
Nice. What about you, Joey? Where you at?
Joey underscore Malesko, MLECZKO. Want to give a huge shout out to people that are using. I'm not sure which code, whether it's my own or the unpaid one at Obsidian, because that pumpkin spice latte ammonia came out, and the packaging is aggressive. But one thing I didn't mention, and I wish he had given me a heads up, each item is listed 3 of 100 because there's only 100 available. And he drew 5 random numbers to win a $250 Obsidian Ammonia gift card.
Shit.
The numbers
of
have
ammonia.
the numbers have already been drawn, so you've just got to get that number. I have number 30. I did not win, but yeah, I've been getting quite a few referral codes for that one, which is dope. And I even said, like, imagine the damage I would do with $250. Like, I'd be showing up to the meet if I volunteer. I think I'm going to volunteer at the next one to try and make it out to announce it if they'll let me. But imagine me walking in with $100 worth of ammonia as a prize or just, something to mess with. So that would be pretty dope. Anyway, yeah, that's my Instagram. And I'm on Discord somewhere. Probably Big Joey.
Indeed. One of the big Joeys.
One of the Big Joey.
Unpaid and Underrated Podcast on Instagram. We got a website, unpaidinternpodcast.com, YouTube. Go follow us on all those places. I'm Big Keith. You can follow me on Instagram at KeithHoneika73. More importantly, go follow my Orange Gym, the No Wine Cellar, and we'll see you next Tuesday.